For the next couple of minutes here, I want to take a look at what I refer to as the catalog of basic functions. This is something you should just flat be aware of. As soon as you see these basic functions, you should immediately in your mind know exactly what the thing looks like. So let's start off with f of x equals x. Okay, that's y equals x. That is just the line, well, y equals x. Now the point is, if I modify this to be ax plus b, depending on the value of a, if I make this a negative, then the slope will be negative, and b is my y-intercept, so that's going to shift it up and down. But right away, when I see anything like this, if I saw negative 4x plus 2, immediately I know what this thing looks like. I know that it's going to have a y-intercept of 2, 1, 2, and it's going to have a negative slope. It's going to be straight, and because this exponent is 1, and that's the highest exponent in this function, it's going to be a line. It's a linear function. See, f of x equals x squared. Right away, I know that this is a parabola. It's going to look something like this. Now, if I put a coefficient up here, depending on the value of coefficient, it may rise faster, it may flatten out a little bit. If it's negative, it'll be upside down. But if I see a function that has 2 as the highest exponent, then I know right away I'm dealing with a parabola. Now, what about f of x equals x cubed? Well, immediately, I know it's going to look like this. Now, just like up here with x squared, if I fill it out, put the lower terms in, say 2x squared plus x minus 7, this will have an effect in terms of shifting left and right, up and down, how fast it rises. But overall, it's always going to look like this. It's just going to be moved around someplace. Likewise here, if I put in these lower terms, I put in a quadratic term, an x squared, the linear term, which is x to the first, it's going to adjust how this thing looks. It may suddenly have these bumps and have multiple intercepts, where this only had one intercept. This one I just drew has 3. It could be shifted left and right. But overall, if I zoom way out of this thing, it's going to look like this. That's the basic shape. Now, if I go to f of x equals x to the 4th, it's going to look just like this. The only difference is it's just going to grow faster and decrease faster. So if I drew this right, it's a little bit more narrow than that because it decreases and increases faster. But overall, it looks just like this. It's a parabola. It's this shape. It just depends on these other terms, where it's located, whether it's up or down, how narrow it is, that sort of a thing. Now, x to the 5th, that's going to look just like x cubed. The only difference is x cubed would be more like this. This rises much faster, x to the 5th. So it's more narrow, but the overall shape is going to be the exact same thing as x cubed. And of course, you could have up to 5 intercepts. It could, do this sort of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I actually just drew x to the 7th because I have 7 intercepts there. X to the 7th plus or minus all these lower terms actually get this sort of a thing. Exponential functions. F of x equals, let's say 2 to the x. Right away, I know exponential functions are going to look like this. Now, if I change this exponent to 2 to the negative x, it's going to look like this. It's going to just go down. It's going to decrease instead. 2 to the x is exponential growth. 2 to the negative x is exponential decay. See, just a couple more here. See, f of x equals 1 over x. That looks like this. That's the basic shape there. And the last one I'm going to do, f of x equals log x. As written, that's log base 10. But you can make this log base anything you want. and the basic shape is always the same. Actually, I think I lied to you. I should go ahead and do one more. F of x equals the square root. Oops. There we go. Square root of x. It'll look like this. And all of these functions, if I start adding other terms to it, or if I start modifying this, like square root of x minus 1, that's going to result in a translation. Likewise, here, if I make this 1 over x plus 2, that's going to be a horizontal translation. And we'll actually look at some translations as a refresher for you in a future Maple lab.